Hey guys, as usual, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. If you like the content, please share it as well. Let's get into this. So, I watched The Mandalorian the other night, the last episode again. I'm currently watching it again. You might be able to hear it very slightly in the background. And I just thought I'd do a little review of it. Some of you guys are not going to like what I have to say. Some of you will. It is what it is. Actually, first of all, I'll just say I like The Mandalorian. It's pretty good. It has its faults. I never did a full review of the show itself. There's certain things I don't like, but those things are attached to just the way in which Disney and Lucasfilm has sort of handled everything. Anyway, so it starts off, they enter the ship. They're trying to find the kid. They find the ship that the research guy, I don't remember his name, is on, and they protect him from being shot by one of the pilots. Anyway, they take over the ship. By the way, the visuals in this are absolutely amazing. And this is for especially for a television show. This is movie level quality. Absolutely, this is as quality as you would get in any film. So I thought that was pretty cool. Oh yeah, and then they go and they find the Mandalorians, Boba Fett and Mando, and then they have this little battle. I don't know if sidekicks are supposed to talk. I don't know. And they just have this like nonsensical little fake beef between Boba Fett and the other Mandalorian girl, not the main one. I don't know. It just seemed kind of pointless. Like they're mad that he's wearing Mandalorian armor. The other thing that's kind of weird about this is I don't think it's weird, but I think they're setting up season 3 as being, because Mando gives up the child. So Bo-Katan's talking about, we need to get Mandalore back, and Mando, you need to help us. And it's like, okay, well, he's not sure, but then she's trying to convince him, oh, get the dark saber. This is all season 3 setup, because at the end of this episode, as we all know, the child is given to Luke and is gone. So now they're setting up what they're going to do in season 3, which is Bo-Katan and Mando are going to have their dispute over the dark saber, and there may be some sort of reestablishment of Mandalore. I don't know. I really like the cruiser. I like the way they did that. My question is, why is the scientist so willing to tell them everything about this? Like, he tells them about the dark troopers. He tells them about the ship, what's going on with it, all the details. I find that very strange that they've abducted him. He's an imperial scientist or cloner or whatever. He sure gives up the goods without even a struggle. Like, he just tells them everything about the dark troopers and everything. Like, why would he do that? I find that very strange. Unless he's, I guess, on their side now. I guess we'll find out. I really liked the showing like the TIE fighters coming out of the ship and the whole thing. That was great. Again, the visuals phenomenal. Um, they do this fake thing where they try to pose that Slave One's shooting at them, and then Moff Gideon sends out the TIEs. That's a cool scene. I like this part actually quite a bit. And again, I love the TIE fighters getting shot out of the thing. I think that looks really neat. They did a really good job of that. And then they land on the ship, and then they kill off all the stormtroopers, because in The Mandalorian, the stormtroopers are even more comical than they were in the original trilogy. They're basically like Wile E. Coyote in The Mandalorian. It's kind of funny. Other than the dark troopers, of course. Okay, so then Gideon activates the dark troopers, and then there's like a race against time to shut the door before they get out or whatever. And yes, more just laying the smackdown on stormtroopers as they go around. Oh, it's funny. Like, zero threat from the stormtroopers at all. Okay, so then the dark troopers are powered up. It took whatever there was, 5 minutes. And now Mando's going to try to get the door closed. And yeah, I mean, the dark troopers, I didn't mind them. I mean, it's kind of a cool idea, but then you start to ask yourself, why did they even have stormtroopers at all? If this takes place pre-sequels, why would the First Order even have stormtroopers? Like, why wouldn't they just have... They obviously had resources. They had an entire planet that could blow up other planets. So why wouldn't they just build like 1,000,000 dark troopers instead of even having... You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that the writers in the modern Star Wars, are not considering. Like, okay, if this takes place in this part of the timeline, what is that going to mean? If it takes part in this part of the timeline, what is that going to mean going forward? And so now, again, I'm asking myself now, where were these things in the sequels? And by the sequels, maybe they would have even worse. So that's where it kind of gets a little bit... Anyway, those are things that bother me. So Mando shuts the the blast doors, but one of these dark troopers gets out. It's extremely menacing, and they have this fight, and he basically kicks Mando's butt for a while, and Mando finds a way to beat him. They did a good job of the way the robots move and the way they, again, visually and stuff. Very, very good filming. Mando getting blasted by the Dark Trooper, and the whole thing with Mando's armor, I found it was a little too much in the series. The amount of times he got shot, like for a bounty hunter, he gets shot a lot, and it's like, okay, I get it, the armor and stuff, but it's like, man, like how many times are you gonna shoot this guy? Like at one point, the only person that the stormtroopers in this entire series actually shot and hit was him. They couldn't hit anybody else, but they hit him many, 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 many times. Not just the Dark Troopers, but the regular stormtroopers in the earlier episodes as well. And it's like, okay, his armor blocks the blasters. We get it. Is anyone going to get shot, or is it just him? Like, so he's pretty crappy at getting out of the way. Anyway, so then the ladies mow down another bunch of useless stormtroopers that never hit anything except for Mando. Like 20 of them just get destroyed. The officers get destroyed. Not a single shot even comes close to hitting any of them. Even though they have armor on, the two of them have armor on, they don't get hit either. Only Mando ever gets shot in this show. Anyway, so they're looking for Moff Gideon, and he's, of course, I think he's with the child, if I'm not mistaken. We'll find out here. Okay, so the Mandalorian, after he beats the Dark Trooper, he beats the crap out of a couple more Stormtroopers for funsies. All right. And anyway, Moff Gideon's got the Dark Saber, which is the whole Mandalore King thing, which is okay, I guess, but it's very King Arthur. It's very, again, most of the writing I've noticed in the sequels and in this is all like, in the Rise of Skywalker they turned it into Romeo and Juliet. In this one it's King Arthur. Like there's a lot of drawing off of classic stuff, which is fine. But it's almost too much for me. Like it's almost too much. Like I know Mandalorian's a Western and they're drawing off stuff and that's cool. That's what it is. But man, there's just so few new ideas, I guess is what I'm trying to say. There's new tech and new cool ideas that way, but plot point new ideas, I just don't see a whole heck of a lot in any of the Disney shows or any of the Disney movies or this show really either. It's okay. Again, I don't mind the show, but there's just very few new interesting ideas. And then Moff Gideon explains the Darksaber and the Mandalore kingship it brings and blah, 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 blah. And then Mando and Moff Gideon fight. And of course, Mando has the Beskar, which is the only thing that can block a lightsaber. Which, again, okay. I guess. That's what it is. The only thing I don't like about the Beskar and Mando's armor is it pretty much makes him invincible. Like, if you think about it, like how... What I mean is it takes a little bit away from, like I was saying, he's the only one that ever gets shot by stormtroopers. Like it kind of takes away from what he's able to do, like as a guy, as a bounty hunter, like, and makes it about the armor instead of, because like Moff Gideon, for all intents and purposes, could have killed him like 3-4 times, but the armor, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it takes away from his skill set when that's what it is. It's all about like him and his armor, and I don't know. I'm not mad about it. It's just kind of, again, it just makes it less than. Anyway, so here he comes in, and now Bo-Katan's got this look on her face, like, oh, he's got the Darksaber, and she's mad about it, and Moff Gideon says, oh, why don't you kill him now and take it? Well, she can't kill him. He'd kill her. Like he's basically invincible. She can't shoot him with a blaster. She can't. There's no way to kill him. Like, how are you gonna kill him? See, and then they do this thing. Oh, it must be won in battle. Why? Like why? Does the Darksaber know? I don't know. Again, these are old tropes. Like these are old type of stories that have been happening for So Star Wars is pretty modern, but it's going with a medieval theme of she has to fight you to get the Darksaber. You can't just give it to her. Then he says, yeah, the Darksaber doesn't have power. The story does. Really? Is that how people work in Star Wars? Does that feel Star Warsy that that's what they do? I don't know. Just take it. Mando says, "Yeah, just take it. Like, screw this stupid story. Like, you're the heir to the throne. Take the friggin' thing and go be the Queen of Mandalore." Like, it's just again, they're adding that because season 3 is likely going to be about her and Mando, and there's going to be a struggle for who she wants to rule Mandalore and blah 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 blah. And it's I get it, but I don't know. Anyway, so Mando blew all the Dark Troopers out into space, but of course they're robots, so that doesn't matter. So now they're coming back into the ship. Oh no, what are we gonna do? There's all these Dark Troopers. How are we gonna survive this? And somehow, Cara Dune pushes Moff Gideon down, and there's a gun like right there, right beside him, and she doesn't notice, and she's a soldier. And then he kind of like covers it with his cowl. It's like, why are you guys leaving blasters just lying around on the floor? Like, what the heck were you doing? It's just kind of like, oh, we have to have Moff Gideon have access to a weapon, so there just happened to be one lying on the floor, and we didn't notice it, and Soldier Cara Dune didn't notice it either, and it's just there. I don't know, whatever. Maybe that's nitpicky, but I just thought it was kind of lame. Again, the Dark Troopers are kind of cool. I like the way they move around. They did a really good job of like the kind of jerky motions and stuff. They're subtle, but they're jerky, which is cool. Anyway, so now they're in the bridge, and here comes the Dark Troopers, and they're gonna get them. And this is the scene that made everybody cry. Coming up, here it comes, the cry scene. And Moff Gideon explains that they're programmed to leave him and the child alone, but they're going to kill everybody else. And then right as the Dark Troopers are going to get in, all of a sudden an X-Wing arrives, and you're like... At that point, I was like, it's Luke. It's obvious. And then as soon as Grogu's ears lifted up and he felt the presence of whoever it was, that was when you knew for sure it was Luke. I don't know about you guys, but it was pretty obvious to me. Luke comes out and just starts dusting these things, which was fine. I mean, it was cool. It was fan servicey, obviously, which was fine. I didn't mind this part at all. My issues lie with, again, just questions about where in the timeline certain things are happening. Anyway, so Luke is killing all these dudes, all these Dark Troopers in various ways, lightsaber, force power, blah blah blah, which is cool. I mean, I don't know. For me, Grogu. They just said, oh, he's able to be so powerful in the Force because he's a whatever Yoda is, whatever this race is. So my whole question is, if that's the case, why wasn't there like a mad rush from the Jedi from the beginning to just make sure that to protect his race and keep them all and make sure that they were breeding so that the Jedi would have had an edge? Again, see. It creates more questions because Yoda was around in the prequels. Yoda's been around. He never told anyone, oh, by the way, my race is a special race of aliens that have extreme force power. We are inherently born with it. Okay, let's make sure to go protect all those people on your planet, or let's make sure to bring them all here, or let's make sure to that whatever, all of them are protected. And it's like, but that never happened. And there must be more of them because Grogu exists, so somebody had a baby, had him. Somebody birthed him. So where's his mother? Where's his father? Why aren't they being protected? Why weren't the Jedi always protecting this crazy race of Force crazy sensitives? You know what I mean? And you never got the impression from Yoda that he was born with it. Like again, he's cute and cuddly. It's what it does to the storyline, and it's what it does to the past storylines. Like why was this never a priority? To protect this race of creatures that's so force sensitive. It's so powerful. The guy stopped a rhino from charging. Like Yoda never even did stuff like that. And he's healing and everything. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, and yeah, it's cool. Luke comes in. The CGI should have been better. I saw a guy on YouTube did a better job. Whatever, it's fine. I don't really care about that stuff that much. I mean, I'm more concerned with the story than the way things look, to be honest, at this point. I want stories that make sense and form a cohesive thing. Him and Mando have this little touching thing, and that was cute. Like, it was cool. I like that he took the helmet off. I like that Grogu touched his face. That was cool. And Pascal did a pretty good job of looking, he did a pretty good acting job. And whoever did the Baby Yoda puppets work and stuff like that, the artist, phenomenal job. It was a cute moment. I liked it. I like that R2's there. That's kind of cool too. The talent without training line I liked a lot. That was certainly a shot at the sequels with Rey, and that's good. And I don't buy this whole infighting. They're gonna get rid of the sequels and all this stuff that a lot of people do. There's a lot of YouTubers that are out there saying, "Oh, Filoni and Favreau are going to take over," and that's not necessarily the best thing either, guys. If you read into what Filoni has said in the Last Jedi book and stuff like that, it's not necessarily the best thing anyway, but certainly better than the sequels. But that was a nice line. I like that line, actually. It was a good shot. I also think it's kind of funny they're having this touching moment, R2 and Grogu, and there's literally a dead stormtrooper in the background just lying there. That was kind of funny. Anyway, so then Luke takes the child. He's gone, and you can see why they set up for season 3 in this episode with the Darksaber and stuff like that, in a sense, because it's like Grogu's gone now, and their final goodbyes. Cute. Okay, and then that's fine. Okay, and then this is where it's again. So you get to go back to Jabba's palace. Cool, whatever. And again, what is Bib Fortuna doing on the throne of Jabba's palace? Can someone explain to me? So this is where, again, it's fan service, and it's unnecessary, because it's not like Bib Fortuna was like anyone's favorite. But notice he's like acting like a gangster. He's like ordering people around and stuff. But like, if you think about it, like, in what world would Jabba the Hutt's assistant, who's kind of a bit of a goof, take over his throne with all these other bounty hunters in the galaxy and everything else? Like, how would that even happen? Again, it's just fan service. So then they come in, Boba Fett, and they super easily take out all of the guards. Like, there's zero fight whatsoever. Like if you remember in Return of the Jedi, there was a lot of tension, and there was a lot of, even Luke had to face the Rancor beast. There's all this stuff. These two, I mean, they just waltz in and just take everything. Like, there's just no fight. It's so anticlimactic. It's like, oh, he's on Jabba's throne now. He shot 3 guys, and there was no protection, and Bib Fortuna somehow is a gangster now. He was Jabba's assistant. Okay. And again, if you like Boba Fett, that's cool. I like him too, but I was perfectly happy with what he was. I was perfectly happy with what Darth Maul was. I'm perfectly happy with what Mace Windu is. Now there's rumors he's coming back too. It's like, let's bring them all back. Instead of thinking of new interesting characters, because we couldn't do that because our sequel trilogy was shite, and all of our new characters were disappointments because we wrote them terribly, even though they had great potential. We're just going to continuously bring back more and more and more and more and more and more dead people. So I don't know what Boba Fett just took over, because there were literally 4 guards and like 3 people in there, and it looked pretty derelict. So I don't get what he took over. Like, Bib Fortuna was running Jabba's entire operation, or what the heck is going on? Like, it just seems kind of weird. It just seems like, oh, you took over Jabba's palace, which is derelict and dusty, and there's 4 guys protecting it, and it doesn't look like there's much money there, but you're sitting on the throne now. I don't know. So to me, that was kind of silly. Anyway, guys, that's my review. Again, I think the show was overall okay. I have my issues with it. I have issues with all of a sudden, carbonite freezing is a thing, right off the hop when the show starts. When in Empire it was like a very risky thing, and now all of a sudden it's like he's just freezing everybody. He's got like a whole bunch of guys in his ship. I thought that was a little silly. Again, it's very fan servicey as a show overall, and I feel like the story was Mandalorian protects the child, brings him to Luke, and they somehow stretched that with a whole pile of, fix the ship episodes into 2 seasons when it was actually a very simple story. So they did a good job of stretching it out, but you could have really had this entire thing done in 1 season very easily. 8 episodes was more than enough to tell this story. And I also want to just mention, too, that the whole idea of the blood of the child and everything else, this is all done to validate Palpatine. I guess he's officially a clone in The Rise of Skywalker. Or he was a clone in 6. I think they said officially in The Rise of Skywalker he was a clone. That's what this is doing. It's they're using this show, and they use this story and the cloning stuff to make the sequel stuff seem palatable. And they had to do that because the audience watched that and went, "This is not good." And so now they're trying to make it palatable, and that's what I'm telling people. All these shows are going to be there to try and validate the sequels and the things that many, not all, but many people did not like about the sequel. So anyway, it's a pretty good show. I definitely feels more Star Wars than anything in the sequels. Am I going to, say it's the most amazing thing I've ever seen? No, it's not. It has its issues. I could go episode by episode, but, this was the one I kind of want to focus on. And again, it's cool. Lots of fan service. Did I like seeing Luke? Of course I liked seeing Luke. how are they going to turn that into the depressed piece of crap Luke on Octu? I don't know, but they will use these shows to do it. I guarantee you there will be some reason they'll make up, because again, they didn't explain it properly. If I had to give this a rating out of 10, I would probably give it probably a 6.5 out of 10. I think it was pretty good, but also, had some issues. The final episode's pretty cool. What did you guys think of this show? I know a lot of you really like it, so hopefully this doesn't make you guys mad that I'm not like saying and ranting and raving about how amazing I think it is. Again, I think it's good, but anyway, let me know in the comment section what you guys think. What would you rate it? What did you think about some of the things they did? What did you think about Bib Fortuna? What did you think about, and again, I think Boba Fett was awesome in the show. I just want people to stay dead, so when people die, it actually matters in Star Wars, and it actually has an impact on you emotionally as the audience. Anyway, so that's my rant. Thanks for listening, you guys. Again, like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Feel free to share it as well, and have a good day.